Right.
Yeah.
She's going in the air.
Did they hoist you up on a rope?
Like this? No. Don't put that on the video. For me, creativity, I think, is the ability to be free.
Where's the effing creativity?
You got it right.
Thank you very much.
You're so clever.
I've been practicing.
Well, hi Emily.
Hi.
This is fun. Welcome to the office that you work in every day.
Yay! We love the office.
And welcome to Where's the Effing Creativity?
Woo.
Do you know-
The podcast that's all about finding out where people's creativity comes from and hopefully trying to get the answers to the ultimate question is where the F is
Well,
in your
yeah.
creativity. I can't get it. I'll never
So,
get
yeah,
it right.
Mark is totally on
I saw
brand
the doubt in
with
your
the
eyes.
title. Well done. Who came up with the title? I think it was you.
I think it may have been. Where's your effing creativity? That's what we want to
Well
find
done.
out.
Well done,
Yes.
Mark.
It'll all work out in the edit.
A couple more coffees, please.
The very exciting news, Emily, is that you're our very first guest.
Yay!
Does that mean there are prizes?
Please.
maybe the prize is just being on this itself. But we
Yeah.
need to be formal. We need to do it properly. We need to
Okay, we are
introduce
gonna do
you.
it properly.
So,
yes.
Sarah, who do we have in the hot seat for this episode?
Well, joining us today is the very incredible Emily Robertson. Not Emma Robinson.
That
No.
alter ego.
Emily Robertson. She is a highly experienced physical theatre practitioner, performer, and arts educator. She is the Senior Associate Artist and Schools Development Coordinator at Highly Sprung, which is currently the longest title in the
It is,
organisation.
truly.
And she has been a key member of Highly Sprung for over 8 years.
Woo.
Wow, we deserve a medal. Emily originally trained at Chichester University, where she earned a BA in dance, which was followed quickly by an MA in choreography and professional practice. Her academic and professional background informs her dynamic and interdisciplinary approach to performance and education.
She is a lead performer with Highly Sprung, and as lead performer, Emily has toured both nationally and internationally with incredible productions where she has flown and soared through the air. In Castaway, she's performed as part of our new touring work, Accelerate. She was even part of our first outdoor touring piece, Urban Astronaut, and since then she's been in many more pieces, including the wonderful early years piece Grow and Simile, which took her work to new levels of poetry.
And also playing a 16-year-old. Fair play to you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
she was
Mark.
awesome.
Yeah.
She integrates contemporary dance, physical theatre, and aerial dance harness, and creates powerful and very visually compelling performances.
We can keep going. In her educational role, Emily leads the development and delivery of Highly Sprung's diverse learning programs. She works across a wide range of age groups, from early years all the way through to university level, as well as professional training and CPD for all of those new artists coming out and those artists wanting to push themselves a little bit further. She has delivered impactful physical theatre workshops and residencies across the UK and internationally with her travel buddy Mark, including China, Indonesia, Vietnam, Czechia and Germany.
And I think we can all agree that she is a fantastic member of the team. We don't really know what we would do without her. And one of the really important pieces of work that I think you've done is on access and inclusion. So we know that that's something that's very close to your heart. That is really important in the work that we deliver. And I think you do an enormous amount of work in trying to really push those agendas. So thank you, Emily, and welcome to... Are we going to say it together?
Where's the effing creativity?
You got it right.
Thank you very much.
You're so clever.
I've been practicing.
That was nice.
So Emily, welcome.
Hi.
Let's start. Can you tell us a bit about you and your creative job? And how does creativity sit within your working life, I suppose?
Following that incredible introduction.
Yeah, I feel quite like amazed by all of that. I was like, is that me? I don't know.
Look at you go.
Woohoo! Yeah, so as Sarah said, I have the longest job role title in Highly Sprung. And my job is amazing because I get to do so many different things, and it straddles both the kind of strategic and education project part of the organisation, but also I get to perform and fly, which is amazing. And I also get to work in schools and in education settings, creating work, which I love doing. So I feel like I feel very lucky to have my job. I think it's the best job maybe in the world.
Why do you think you're lucky? Why is it lucky?
Lucky.
Why is it luck?
Why is it luck? Good question. Maybe because I met you guys. What a treat.
Some would
No,
disagree.
I honestly though, I mean, I know we spoke about me being here for 8 years, and I auditioned for a show, Tree, way back in the day. And I remember saying to my family, I'm going to move to Coventry for a month to do this show, and they were all like, okay, great. And then I didn't come back for nearly 9 years now.
Wow.
Have they stopped partying yet?
They stopped partying.
Yeah.
No, it's still going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
They're
still-
like, yes, she's gone.
I would say that rewrite the narrative around luck, because
Okay.
actually what you brought to the organisation has been huge in terms of how you've helped us develop the talent as a performer and your creativity. So maybe luck didn't really have anything to do with it. It was
Maybe.
all you.
You make your
Goodness.
own luck in this industry, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And I feel really privileged. Maybe that's a better word for it.
Yeah.
I feel very privileged to have the role that I do, because I feel like we have grown together as the organisation has grown, and we've been able to bring things that our skills can bring the company and bring our work. And that's kind of, I feel like my job's kind of evolved around that growth that
Yeah.
I've had. So that's why I feel very privileged and not lucky.
And very quickly,
Yes.
highlight of the job. Highlight.
There's so many though.
Like quickly off the top of your head.
Oh.
Even if it has to be top 3.
Highlight. Okay, favourite things. 1, obviously, getting to travel around the world and share what we do around the world. It's pretty great. 2, when you're working with a group of young people over maybe a couple of days or a week, and then they go on and they do their performance and they just are so proud of themselves, I always have a little weep to myself. That is another thing that I just absolutely love. And I am going to do 3 because I can't choose. And 3 is the feeling of family that we have in a rehearsal room, and the feeling of us all being together for 2, 3, 4, if we're lucky, weeks, and creating a show, and that bubble of creativity that we have together, and the feeling of trust and belonging in that room, I think for me makes me really happy.
Oh.
So those are my 3.
Does that bubble of family exist when you're playing Foursquare?
Interesting.
Emily has been described as the most competitive person in the entire team.
Yeah, that's true.
And her sense of family is definitely questionable during those moments.
I considered that moment to be like quarrelling siblings, like
Okay.
me and Mark, obviously. Maybe he's my dad. No, I'm
No.
joking.
I like the idea of being a sibling. It's like, wow,
Sibling.
we're in the same age bracket. I'm
No,
happy
I
with
know.
that.
You look really excited about it, but I couldn't let you have it.
I think
Yeah.
for Emily to be the most competitive member of the team above me is quite pushing it, but she is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So Emily, we're going to take you way back,
Okay.
and well, it might not be far back. It's totally up to you. But what we really want to know about is, what would you describe as recognizing as your first kind of creative moment that kind of opened your eyes and pushed you in a different direction, and maybe started your journey into the creative world that you now exist in?
I've been thinking about this. Okay, so I was a really shy little girl, like really, really shy. I'd hide behind my mum's legs if I met new people, and I was really, really shy outside of my own house, but in my house I was not shy at all, and just was very chaotic and loved to sing at everyone. So I think my parents saw that and thought, well, let's try and help her out. And so I joined a musical theatre workshop every Saturday
How
for
old
years.
were
I was
you?
5
Right.
when I started
that's
it.
Really young.
Really, really young. And I remember the first day my dad carried me in, and it makes me think about the little ones that start with Sprung sometimes, because I couldn't stay. I had to leave, and I had my sandwiches on the way home, and I felt really annoyed at myself because I couldn't stay because I was so shy. But then I did, and I really loved it. And it was a interesting first in, because it was very musical theatre based, and the feeling of ensemble and community wasn't there, but I did fall in love with performance, and I did fall in love with the feeling of being in a show and just falling in love with the feeling of performing. And I think that was really important as a kind of first in. I think there's a couple of things throughout my life, but the earliest ones are this. And my dad, growing up in Brighton, he had a Amdram company that he ran, and so every weekend when I was with him, I was dragged to rehearsals. Or he said I was dragged to rehearsals. I sometimes was dragged, but often I loved it, and I'd sit there in the auditorium as he was on stage doing a dress rehearsal or a rehearsal, and I'd have a snack or something. I'd sit there and I'd be in the theatre, and I'd be sat on my own. It'd be dark, and I just felt immersed in it, and that was so many different shows. And my dad is brilliant because he's a bit of a maverick. He'd just try whatever. He'd try anything. So, for example, he created a black and white show where everything was painted black and white. It was like a Henry Bogart kind of thing. I just found it really inspiring, and I think that definitely has a part of it, that I was immersed in that just as an observer for years and years and years. And then yeah, it kind of just grew from there. So, but I think I found my big love in the way that I think we work now. When I went to secondary school, and I had an amazing teacher, and that's why I think it's so important when we're working in schools to know that the adults that you meet and help you along that journey are just so important, and the way they recognize you and your skills and your talents in a way that you might not see as a young person is so important. And she's amazing. Her name's Helen MacDonald. She's my dance teacher at in year 10, and she just completely changed the way I saw performance, and I moved away from that kind of musical theatre world in that place because I found contemporary dance, and I just felt it was so much more expressive and less rigid, and just felt like this massive open thing that I could go into and be myself completely and enjoy. So I think those were my earliest little ins.
I just wanted to ask, I don't know if you want to say anything, but my quick follow-up was just, it might be the same. I want to know, you've spoken about this feeling. Is that what you wanted to know?
I was going to, yeah.
What, can you put words to that? What is feeling? That? You were like, there's this feeling, and I had this feeling.
I think it is a sense of freedom, and I think whenever what else is ever going on, like I really hated school, but when I went into drama or I went into dance, I would just feel a sense of relaxing, and it was a place that I could genuinely just be myself and also be celebrated for what I could do, and have the space to try things out and fail and but it not be a problem, and grow and feel like I was contributing to the group that I was with as well. I felt the first feelings, I think, of like belonging, but belonging for who I am, and that's really important to me, and I think that's probably why I do what I do. And it's why when I met you guys, that ensemble is so integral to the way that we all work now. I think it's really important, and all I want to do in my work is to create that space for the young people that we work with. And I find it really important to know that every single young person that we work with feels like their personal creativity and their personal way of expressing themselves is really centered and really seen and celebrated. So I think that is my big thing. That's the feeling I was talking about, I think, is feeling belonging.
You also spoke about that moment of being inside the auditorium or in that theatre during those dress rehearsals or those rehearsals, and I think there's something magical about theatres generally, but when you're there taking part in a dress rehearsal or a technical rehearsal, there's something even more magical about it, and especially if you're sort of a handful of people in that auditorium, and that, as you say, that possibility and that allowance to fail, and I think that's really, really important. And I'm just trying to think of the other challenges that sort of we might have and creativity might have. And do you think that there are other challenges associated with creativity, whether personally or societally?
I think we know this from our work, but creativity and the arts in general, I think, is seen as very soft, and the narrative around things that are creative or kind of airy fairy. Someone described it as hocus pocus last week when we were
Yeah.
at an event. But I think I think it's kind of just not respected enough, and I think that across society is a problem. Unless you are bringing in big money with big commercial shows, it isn't respected. I think a lot of people don't respect it as a job. The amount of times I've been asked, "Oh, do you get paid for that?
Do you think
Do you get
people
paid for that?"
know about the kind of jobs that exist?
No, I don't. I don't think they do. But I think it's because nobody is allowed to dream that way. Because especially at the moment, it's about being secure. It's about being financially secure. It's about building a future that is very very secure. And I think we see it in schools too. There's a big swing away from taking creative GCSEs, and that's really really tough because then they aren't getting those skills, those resilient skills. They aren't getting the place to belong as well and be creative. And I think it's a lack of respect and understanding, I think, is the biggest issue, and therefore lack of funding because of that mindset. I think that's the issue.
And how are you personally dealing with that challenge at the moment? 'Cause that's a big part of your job.
It's a big part of my job, yeah. And I really feel for teachers. I really, really feel for teachers. I mean, I came into the role, my schools development coordinator, part of my role, in 2021, so fresh out of lockdown. And I've seen such a massive shift in the ways in which teachers are allowed to engage in the arts now, and the support they're given. And it just seems to be every year stripped back and back and back and back. And those teachers that are those brilliant, trailblazers who really, really want to get alternative things in, aren't being allowed the freedoms, they aren't being allowed the resources to be able to do that. So I think my role is trying to understand, one, what teachers need, what they want, how we can support them to be even more brilliant teachers, bring physical elements into the drama room, but also understand what it is that, unfortunately, what the boxes that need to be ticked are in order for them to get the resources to get us in, and try and make sure that we are communicating with schools in the way that is best, and creating solutions for issues that they have, and trying to be that provision that encapsulates all of those things. And it's really tricky. It's really really tricky, because I think underneath all of that, we never let go of the authenticity. I think the authenticity in what we do is really important, and we know that children, when they engage with this, they have a brilliant experience, and they are richer for it, in themselves, and that can never not be the most important part of what we do. So it's trying to hold on to that whilst also being able to link into all the things that the schools need and want. That's the biggest challenge, I'd say.
Ooh.
There's that phrase, isn't there? What do you remember about school? And most people remember those alternative days, those, whether it's a drop down curriculum day or those artistic days, or a company coming in. For me, it was the very early 90s, possibly late 80s, and I remember a TIE company coming in and them literally smoking in the school hall and being the exhaust pipe of a motorcycle.
Amazing.
Oh wow, as part of the show.
As part of the show, just lighting. I remember thinking, that guy's smoking in school.
In school, I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah. Chuck us one. What was yours?
What?
Your creative moment that you remember? No one remembers maths on Monday, right?
Oh, the thing that kind of sticks in my
Oh,
head.
it was Michael.
Let's not go back. I was going to say, the biggest, most radical thing that happened was a drama teacher, bringing in an outside arts organisation to make a piece of work with us. That genuinely transformed our lives. We were very,
Young.
lucky. We were in the same sixth form college, and an organisation came in and made a piece of work with us. And I think at that point I went, first of all, I want to be a performer, because it just felt so magical.
Yeah.
But then after that, when I realised perhaps performing wasn't my thing, I thought, I want to do that for other young people. I want to give them that opportunity to go, oh, I can do this. This feels like something I want to do.
What was yours then?
It's funny, thinking at school, I don't remember there being anyone that came in and did something particular. I think it was actually things that the teachers did within the school. So I remember really early, this is like year 2, they did a spring dance, and we were like little seeds, and we had to like grow up and be little flowers, and I loved it so much.
Did you get a costume?
I think so. I
Course
remember
you
being
did.
green, but I loved it so much. And I think they must have had it on rotation. So each term, a different group got to do the dance. And I heard on the grapevine they had a S Club 7 dance the next time, and I was like, I am not missing out on this. So I pretended that I wasn't in the spring dance and snuck in and was part of the S Club 7 dance too. So that was my first experience of someone coming in
She
and
was
making.
desperate.
I was absolutely
she was
desperate.
a sunflower reaching for the stars.
Yeah. But yeah, later on, I think it was, in secondary school, it was just that the teachers that I had in drama, dance and music were really brilliant teachers. They were the teachers that I would love to work with now in schools. They were so passionate.
They're still out there.
They're still there. They're still doing great things. But they were just so open to doing things, and the school productions we did at school were brilliant. And even though I had tiny parts in the drama piece, I was voice 1 in Romeo and Juliet, but my line was cut.
Oh.
I had one line.
Of all the voices you can cut,
And
cut
one
number
line,
1.
yeah, exactly.
Voice 1, we know you've got one line, but it's not good enough.
It's not
You're
good
out.
enough.
What was it? Do you remember?
Oh, I think they made it up. It was like, no, Romeo, don't do it, or something like that.
They were like, quick, write that girl a line. Oh no, cut it.
Maybe it was your delivery. No, Romeo, don't do it.
I bet you delivered it with such every ounce of creativity.
I mean, I tried to, and then it got cut. But then I was Ariel in The Tempest, which I think was really formative for me, and it has created a really lovely love of The Tempest, which I've got to bring out quite a lot. We worked on it this year, which has been lovely. But yeah, and that was actually, I was one of 3 Ariels, and we got to sing and dance around. I got to bring my dance into it. So I feel like the teachers at my school were really brilliant at being able to see you and bring you into being creative
and being Ariel. That's a bit of foreshadowing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She's going in the air.
Did they hoist you up on a rope
like this? No. Don't put that on the video.
Well, now you said that, it's going on.
Oh, I know.
For those of you not watching, Emily just did a beautiful flappy arm movement, because that's how she Ariel
being hoisted.
Brilliant. I think we've started to already kind of scratch on the surface of this one a little bit, but I think we've all experienced in our own lives the kind of change that creativity can bring. And I wondered if you could sort of talk about that from your perspective in your work. Like, what can creativity do in terms of bringing about change?
Yeah, you're right, we have kind of touched on it. I think the biggest thing for me, creativity, I think, is the ability to be free and express and be the truest part of you, because you need to be able to fail in order to be creative, and you need a space to be able to do that. And if you don't have that space, then you can't be creative. And I think we try, and I hope succeed, in creating that space for young people, both in Sprung Youth, but also in the schools we go into, any of the extracurricular projects that we do, even the work I've done at university level. I think we try and make sure that that's a place where people can come and be themselves to be able to create. And that change, I think, is massive. I think it's probably coming from a place because I felt really seen when I was there, and when I definitely didn't feel seen in other contexts. And I just really, really want to make sure that's something that is given to young people, because I think that is a massive change it can make. We've seen young people come in who have, in their personal lives, maybe haven't got that ability to fail, and they've got kind of boundaries around that, and it's so lovely to see them start to shake off those shackles a bit and breathe and think, oh, okay, here I can really be myself and I can really try. And you see them starting to make more interesting choices and think, oh, what about if we did this, or oh, how about we try this lift or that thing? And that for me is the biggest thing, because I think then you are creating people who have autonomy, have self-confidence, believe in themselves past a failure. And I think that's the biggest gift you can give someone. So for me, that's what creativity can give.
Lovely.
And I think I was just listening to what you were saying about failure, and I wonder if it isn't actually failing. I think you were saying it's about finding a new idea or trying something out. What does that look like for you in the rehearsal room, like when you're making performance for where you're a performer?
So we often work with tasks and we work really collaboratively, which I love. And I think it's about making offers and seeing if the offers land, and then being able as a group to kind of go, okay, no, that bit might not work, so we retry. But the most interesting thing I think about my particular experience is that the work that we create, especially on Ariel, is new. It's new. It hasn't been done before. I try and describe it to people that don't understand what we do as like non-traditional Ariel, and it's a kind of bespoke way of looking at it, because our machines, dreamed up by Mark, are a new way of working. So there's beginning of Castaway, there's so much failure because we had to work out how the machine works, how you work on the other end, how I work on the other end, what that communication between us is, but also I kind of had to work out what the technique was. And that was a couple of years worth of work, and kind of finding what was possible, finding the possibilities within what we had and the different ways of moving. And Castaway is a really special one because the world of it was being underwater, so I had to try and link that specifically to the idea of swimming. And I think over those years and trying and failing and testing things out, I mean, some of the initial footage, I watched it back and I was like, oh my goodness, that was clunky, but we didn't know.
It felt like failure.
No, it didn't. No, it was finding.
But it's a great, it encapsulates a lot of what you're talking about. So it talks about failure, it talks about struggles with funding. I mean, oh my goodness, if we could have that machine up in a giant gym where it can fit for 3 weeks and just have that rehearsal time just to play. I mean, it requires failure or not execute, testing, rehearsal. That's what we call it, right? It's not failure, it's rehearsal.
Yeah.
But it is really, people often talk about you and the other performer doing this duet, and actually that duet is happening at the same time as you doing a trio with you, me on the other end, and physics itself. And that's a beautiful thing to watch as well.
Very skillful, Emily.
Thanks, Sarah.
Right, we've all yes,
that was nice.
Look at us.
We're ready to move
we're
on.
professional.
We're excited because it's our favourite moment.
It's time for
Quickfire questions.
Quickfire.
Oh,
got a
there's
theme
a
tune.
theme tune this week. You're lucky, that just got invented.
I'm really
for you.
excited.
Emily.
That was a failure. Or was it just a rehearsal?
It's a quick fire.
Stop now.
Emily, who's the most...
No, hang on, we have to set the rules. She
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
know, she's scared.
Oh, my
Right,
goodness.
these questions, you're going to have 3.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as possible, 1 word only answer.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, you ready?
I'll try.
Prepare. They're coming at you.
Okay.
Fast and furious.
Who is the most creative person you know?
It's really
Yeah,
hard.
it is.
Yeah.
The most creative person I know.
Yes.
Sarah.
Oh.
Literally,
Sorry.
she looked me in the eye and said
I'm
that.
sorry.
Okay. What has been your worst ever creative idea?
My worst ever creative idea. I'm not cut out for quick fire. Oh my goodness. My worst ever creative idea.
1 word.
You don't even need to explain it.
Okay. Crossing the road.
Wow. Okay.
And what is the most boring part of your creative job?
The most boring part of my creative job.
Yeah.
It's kind of 2 words.
Go on.
Failed communications.
Oh.
Communication, yeah. I think everyone can jump on board with that.
So we use those quick fire questions to warm you up for the really, really challenging
I
part.
feel very, very, very warm.
Are you ready?
and it is tricky because actually
so warm.
you've been talking so much about your creative journey starting at school and being influenced by so many teachers. So my question is very much inspired by a podcast I was listening to just over the weekend. And this question is set in 2025. Are schools killing creativity?
I don't think schools are killing creativity. I think what schools are allowed to do is killing creativity. I don't think schools are being given the remit to invest in it, like I've said, but I think there's a culture which is a national issue around the respect for creative subjects, like I've said. So I think going through the school system as it is now, unless you've got a very trailblazing team, I think it squeezes it out of young people, and I think it doesn't place a lot of importance on carrying that through to GCSE and beyond. So my answer is yes, but not by intent.
And not by teachers.
And not by teachers.
So just going a bit deeper,
Mm.
what is it what does it look like, this death of creativity, do you think, in education?
I think it's because there is no room for failure.
Right.
I think it's because everything is grades based, everything is outcome based, everything has to be evidenced, children are monitored closely. When have you ever had a good idea when someone's over your shoulder watching you do it? When have you ever had the ability to test something out if every single thing you output is being marked and graded against you? I think there's nowhere for self-esteem to grow in that direction, because you can't mark creativity, you can't grade it in the same way you can a yes or no maths answer. It's just not the way it works. And I just think there's no room for creativity to breathe or actually be able to flourish in the way it needs to when things are so regimented and so data driven. I think it's just the absolute opposite of the conditions that need to be there for creativity to grow.
I think Mark would say that he's always got someone looking over his shoulder when he has to be creative.
I actually bit my tongue when she said that.
Who is that person?
No one, Sarah, no one. Your idea of someone looking over your shoulder, and I think that's not just the students as well, and a lot of teachers that I actually work with,
Absolutely.
it's like they're looking over the shoulder, and even parents, dare I say it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
little Johnny is not doing this actually, and they're looking over their kids' shoulders, looking over the teachers' shoulders. I think you're absolutely right. It's a really, really great place to find creativity and explore creativity, but that ability to fail is being taken away and stripped away, and our young people are finding it harder and harder to deal with failure as well. And that's not a good lesson for their life and how they're going to succeed in life. And I can see it in my own kids, you know, struggling with failure, and it's like, it's okay. And I often quote Batman. It's ridiculous. It's not about, what is it? No,
It's not Batman.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Is it No, it's Rocky.
Yeah, I was going to
No,
say,
it's
I know
not. It's not. Oh my
Say
gosh,
it's
there are so
Rocky.
many
It's
different
okay to
ways.
fail, Mark. It's okay to fail.
But it's not about how
hard
hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep
getting back up again.
getting
Yeah.
back up again.
Resilience.
That's Rocky, right?
That is Rocky. Oh my gosh,
Definitely not
you know
Batman.
Rocky better than me. But then Batman,
No, I know
they
you
also
better.
say
I
something.
know you better than me.
Yeah, you do. There is something in Batman. I'm going to find it and put it on there.
I was
Great.
going to just say, I don't think we should answer this question,
Okay.
because I think Highly Sprung does their very, very best to try and do this. But I just think a good question for us all to kind of think about is, what needs to change in order to let creativity grow in schools? And I think we're doing our best to try and make that happen.
I think we're trying to offer that. I think we're trying to offer a solution that answers that question, because we're trying to understand what the solutions are that need to be answered. And I think you're right, it's a very open-ended question, because there are so many answers to that question. It's just massive.
It does take some radical kind of energy.
We love a radical thought, don't
we love
we?
a radical action.
Also, just remembered, Batman, why do we fall, Bruce? So we can get back up again.
There we go.
There we are.
Very similar. I can
Very
see why you
similar.
got your wires crossed.
Thank you very much.
You have redeemed yourself.
Thank you. We're ready for the last question,
we are
Emily.
ready for the last. This is the last question, the best question. Emily,
Okay, yes.
what is your F in creativity?
Okay, it might be 2 words. Is that okay?
No, you're allowed words on this one.
Okay,
It's not
yeah.
quick
Great.
fire anymore.
Okay,
You
I'm
go,
stressed.
girl.
We really appreciate the F.
Yeah.
No,
We
it is
wanna
an
know
F.
what your
It
F
is an
is.
F.
Your F in
Okay, it's
creativity.
finding out.
Ooh,
Finding
Nice.
out. And I think that, for me, covers so many different things. I think finding out, as in finding out who you are, I think that's been the biggest thing that creativity has allowed me to do, is allow me to understand who I am and have something that is just mine. And through those creative journeys, you know, through failing, but also through finding out what you enjoy, like forcing my poor sister and my best friend, we were like 6 years old to learn all the dances to the Sugar Babes and that kind of thing.
Do you know, our poor parents,
I know.
do you think
They had to
the
watch
amount
so
of
many
time that we
shows.
made them watch us dance around the living room? Did you have a costume?
Oh, all the time.
Did
all
you
the
like
time.
root into your drawers and get out all
It
your
was
best?
it was always a Pocahontas swimming costume that was off the shoulder. I also had Pocahontas rollerblades, which was
Wow.
really
You
really
went
good.
proper hard
I was obsessed.
in your swimming costume.
Yeah. But then being older, being a teenager, and being able to find out
The Pocahontas costume.
that went away at that point.
Okay.
That was far too small.
I mean, I think we should bring it out.
Away in the cupboard for later.
No,
Cancel.
cancelled. But yeah, finding out who I am at school and alongside doing GCSEs at the time, I was allowed to do, this would never happen now, I was allowed to do drama, dance, music, art and textiles as my choices at GCSE. So
You
I
made your own Pocahontas.
absolutely.
swimming costume.
I remember my head of year writing a letter to someone, I can't remember who it was, being like, this Emily has to do these. She can't do anything else. I was
Wow.
like, great.
No,
and I felt really
I think it wasn't that you can't do
in a
anything.
really nice
Oh,
way,
like,
in like
you
a
have
and
to.
she has to do it. Like this is her thing.
It's her purpose.
And they really invested in me, and I got to find out who I was in that place. But then also, if you're looking at a different way of finding out, it's every day. It's problem solving is what we're talking about. You use your creativity to find the answers. You use your creativity to find the best ideas, to find the aerial technique. It's an excavation, I think. I see
Love
it like
that.
an archaeologist finding the creativity. It helps you to find.
Nice.
I think we will probably have to end there because all I've got stuck in my head is like the artwork for this podcast being Emily standing on the top of a mountain in a Pocahontas swimming costume with a big flag saying creativity.
I'm so sad I brought that into this room.
AI,
No
here
one
I
wants
come.
to see me in a Pocahontas
No,
swimming costume.
that's not going to happen. I can assure you, we don't have the creative skills to make that
No.
happen.
AI
Goodness.
AI would ruin it.
No, it'd be
AI
odd.
would make
It'd be
it all
odd.
bad. But that has been so insightful, and I think you've shown us again just why we love working with you.
Aw.
And how much you bring to not only Highly Sprung but to the young people's lives who you interact with every day, and how lucky the world is to have your creativity at its doorstep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's lovely.
It's been a joy to travel the world with you, mate. And I wish you luck in all of the Highly Sprung things you do from now on.
More to come,
Woohoo!
more to come.
It's a busy year
To be
ahead.
continued.
Yeah.
Dot. Thank you, Emily. You are
Yay.
wonderful. And here's a little party popper for you.
Oh, I thought that was real.
No, I do have a party
No,
popper.
you don't.
I do have a party popper.
Live action.
Sarah
live
has to do it.
thinking.
I do
Can I
have-
do it?
Yeah.
Okay, explain why me doing it is of significance.
Sarah
Why I
has a
prepare.
really bad relationship with confetti cannons in that she can't do them on time, but you can today.
All right, give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1. Yay!
It didn't reach you.
Oh,
Here.
quick.
Oh, it still didn't reach you.
Whoa, amazing.
That's it, all of you. That was
I'm going
amazing.
to
Thank
finish
you
like
so
this.
much, Emily.
Thank you.
Have a
And
lovely week.
coming up on other episodes of Where's the
Are we
Effing
doing
Creativity?
this?
I think we should do
We're
it.
doing a trailer.
It's
We're
just
doing- we're not
riffing,
doing
it's
a
riffing.
trailer.
It's a thing now.
It's more of a
We've got
coming
some
up.
more guests.
We've got some more guests. So we've
More
had
gusts.
more guests. I don't know, maybe. So we're going to be talking to the director of some of Coventry's biggest
Yes.
outdoor projects
And
that
one
have
of-
ever happened.
One of the Cultural Olympiad's biggest events
Yes.
that happened in the country
Yeah.
in 2012
And she's a good mate.
and shaped our lives.
Absolutely. Let's not tell her that.
And we're going to be talking to a very fresh, brand new, out of the box graduate arts and physical theatre company, which we're really excited about. They're at the beginning of their journey. They don't know what's to come. We are going to ruin it for them.
And are we allowed to say the other one?
Go on.
A very, very special person who has just recently been on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
But
We're very excited.
make sure you
Coming up
like,
soon.
follow, and share all of the podcasts. And if you want to know where we
That's
are,
very unk.
we're very at Highly Sprung. Don't say I'm unk. We're going to fade out now. The music's playing. It's gone.
Bye.
It's gone. Bye.
Bye.